Coming to you live from their studio in South Florida, Twist Gaming. Featuring lead broadcaster, Matt Koza. Co-host and creative genius, Josh Perry. Co-host and interviewer extraordinaire, Ann Lazito. Co-host and marketing mogul, Aaron Murphy. With appearances from special guest, Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from our studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you another episode of Twitch Plays Middara. But first up, who are we? I don't know.
Yeah, you thought you were everybody in that intro video.
I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
And we are Twist Gaming.
Hi.
So, for those of you just joining us, Twitch Plays Middara is an ongoing campaign of Middara, the Unintentional Malum Act 1. I think is the full name of it.
That was much better than an inside joke.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was good.
So they just finished up on Kickstarter, but we're doing an ongoing campaign of Middara.
Yeah.
That whole big name. We just finished up with the Mast at the end of the last episode, so we built up our characters. We'll go into that in just a little bit.
What's the Mast, Matt?
Josh, what's the Mast?
It is the test we need to take to become citizens of Middara.
And how'd we do?
We'll find out soon.
Because we're doing story time, right?
Because last episode, we finished beating the big baddie.
And I did it all by myself.
And died.
I did. So upsetting.
I mean, you didn't die. You
Fainted?
You
took a nap.
fainted. But before we go any further, we'd like to issue a big thank you to Dice Throne Adventures for sponsoring this stream and all of this week's streams. They are live on Kickstarter right now. You can go check that out. And then have to pimp our own stuff. Definitely check out that link that you see on the bottom of the page there for our Kickstarter. That's ks.twistgaming.tv. Thanks for the following.
Mad Dog 17.
Thank you, Mad Dog. And you can get some awesome promos for some of your favorite games there. And we're almost funded. When we hit funded, we'll get some super cool extra stuff for all of the physical backers.
We are, and you know what, Matt? We recently released some additional promos from when we initially launched the campaign. So, for example, we launched promos for Sagrada, and we launched promos for one of the Japanime games.
Kamagami.
Kamagami.
I'm probably butchering the
Battle
sound of it.
Of the Gods? Maybe. It's in Josh's tier. But we also, if you take a look at that digital bundle, something that I think was really important to point out is that Cosmos had originally, we had the expansions for the Seafarers and Cities and Knights. I think it's called
For Catan.
Yeah. I wish you would flip over to the Kickstarter page so that I could read it instead of looking at every other possible thing ever. Scroll down. More scrolling. We're less than $200 away from funding. I'm so excited.
It's happening.
It's happening!
Dude.
There we go. Yeah. So Seafarers and Cities and Knights expansions, but they're actually also including the base Catan game in with the digital bundle. So you're going to get the Catan base. This is the digital bundle. So this is digital Catan, as well as Seafarers and Cities and Knights. It's the base game and 2 really great expansions, as well as the Witch for the Asmati One Deck Dungeon Steam Edition.
Yep, and I forget the actual name of it, Josh. If you could switch back to the Kickstarter again.
The Witch?
Yeah.
It's just called The Witch for One Deck Dungeon.
I thought it had a different name under
No,
it.
it
The
was
Witch
just-
Hero. For one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. I remember reading The Witch Hero. But, yeah, thanks for reluctantly flipping over there. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right, so we're ready to jump into story time now. Right? That's it. We're ready to go?
I think so.
Anything else that we need to do first? We'll review our builds after this.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing Making the Grade?
Yeah.
Or this one here, Josh? Let's see how you did.
No, Making the Grade.
Okay. Which colors am I reading, by the way?
You're not reading orange, I believe.
And okay. There was something of a finality in the way the lift rumbled to a stop, depositing them firmly onto the castle floor. The last time Rook had climbed onto this lift, there had been hundreds of students and the most important test of his life waiting. Now, there was only a single man waiting for them, a hawkish professor with gnarled skin who had taught Rick basic swordsmanship in his first year. Professor Grisham made no sign that he even recognized Rook now. Standing by the door with his arms folded, he already had a thick envelope in one hand, with their names scribbled onto the outside. Nightingale got to him first, trying to snatch the envelope to get at the scores inside. Professor Grisham was too fast, though. He gestured down the hall as he moved the envelope out of Nightingale's eager reach.
The armory's waiting for you. Everything gets returned so next year's graduating class can use it. And don't try to sneak anything. I'll be keeping an eye on you, Miss Arson.
Yeah.
Nightingale said dismissively, and finally lowered the envelope. And he finally lowered the envelope, letting Nightingale tug it out of his hand. They started walking toward the armory, Nightingale tearing furiously at the envelope as they walked. Even Rook felt his patience running out as he leaned over her shoulder to see. His whole life might very well turn on what is written on that sheet. The doors to the armory were opened. Instead of shelves of pre-stocked packs, there were rows of worn-looking chests, each one with a label. A stern proctor named Bardich gazed through cracked glasses at them, both arms folded. Everything except your clothes and those scores goes into the boxes, he recited, gesturing around the room with a worn practice sword. Don't think we don't know exactly what you brought into the mast, either. Bardich tossed the sword into a bin, lifting a clipboard and pencil from a nearby shelf. If anything is missing, there's gonna be trouble.
All right.
Remi raised her hand and cleared her throat.
Excuse me, sir? But we aren't going out into Alenia unarmed, are we? Isn't that, like, against the law?
Yes! Bardich indicated a door on the far wall, one that had been barred for the last time they came through. Once you turn in everything, you go in there. King Balthazar ensures the Institute is always well stocked. Graduates won't be sent out into Alenia unarmed. They started emptying their bags, sorting everything away into the appropriate chests. It was a tedious process, made more so by the proctor's watchful eyes. Rook had to admit, getting rid of everything like this made him a little wistful. Apparently, Nightingale was thinking along similar lines.
If any of you want to go adventuring again soon, I mean the real kind, get at me. Doesn't say that, says talk to me, but that's not what she would have said. I'll probably have to go away for a few months while I train for the Demiurge, but once I get back...
However comfortable Rook may have felt with his new friends, he didn't point out the obvious. He was a son of farmers. The odds of him running around Alenia with the princess seemed low. Zeke didn't share Rook's low status, though apparently he had the same reservations. You really think your father will let a princess put herself in danger like that? Nightingale's tail froze where it was, her eyes like angry emeralds. She didn't actually say anything until they'd finished returning all their gear and made it out of the hallway leading to the requisitions.
If my father is half as smart as everyone says he is, he'll be jumping at the chance to have such a capable daughter. Adventuring is what made our families rich, isn't it? How could he be upset that I want to do it too?
Zeke didn't argue. We all wish you the best, Knight. When you're in Demiurge, I'm sure you'll do great things.
Yeah.
Nightingale smiled, and her old enthusiasm seemed to be returning.
We all will.
They continued to the armory in the next room. If their findings during the mass impressed Rook, he was practically stunned with the stock laid out before him. Glittering steel hung on every wall. Swords, axes, hammers, and other weapons. There was armor, too, and a few objects with a look of magic about them. None of it was within reach, though. In a way, it resembled military armories on Earth, with thick steel bars locking the quartermaster in with the equipment. Nightingale passed the vouchers through the single large opening, grinning wildly.
Here's our scores.
Congratulations. The quartermaster grunted, voice completely flat. He dug a handful of coins out from under the counter and set them down in front of them. Buy what you'd like, but make sure you don't leave without a weapon. Add up the points earned through all 3 massed encounters, then go through the following steps. Return all starting items and discipline. Any gold and items gained during the mass are kept. Determine your mass grade below, then spend gold and XP using the shop and train rules on the next page. What was our score, Josh?
360.
That was not our score, Ann.
Just kidding.
36 plus 11 plus 28.
So over 60.
Over 60.
Over 9,000.
So we each got, or altogether we received 240 gold and 4 XP.
Plus, we got lots of gold in the dungeons.
Mm-hmm. So it actually would have been better for us if we scored lower.
But you would have got less gold in the dungeon, most likely, if you scored worse.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So we did some stuff.
And then the top of that next page is what else happens. I don't know if you want to read any of that.
This one here?
Shop and
So
train.
shop and train, you may spend gold and learn disciplines with XP. In addition, you may trade any gear amongst your party members and party stash. The store contains the following items. We went through it already, so now we'll go through what items we all have. So you can look at the link.
Did you update it?
Should be updated.
You can check out the link right there, and that'll show you the gear that each of us have individually.
Click
I'm
it.
going to go through it right meow.
I
So Nightingale, you've got a defensive core. This is Twitch's character, by the way. So they've got the defensive core. So the defensive core is going to give them +1 defense, +2 health, and it allows them to exhaust for a dodge. They keep their enchanted earrings from before, which is giving them a passive conviction upgrade to white, as well as flipping this to reroll any dice. They keep their 2 juice boxes, which are the heals. They picked up a cloak, which is when making a conviction check, add +1 to your roll for a book, and you can exhaust this to dodge as well. They picked up a badass wand of hide and sight. Cost them 20. No, it cost them 50. So they do have another wand as well, so they are combo casting, upgrading this to orange. And at any time, re-roll any dice except for the black die that you or an ally within Sphere of Influence rolled. And then 2 books is going to give +1 magic damage. And then finally here, we've got the Wand of Missiles. So that's going to combo with the other wand and have a casting upgrade of white here.
That's so cool.
How does that work, Josh?
You take the best casting.
You take the best casting upgrade. So they're going to
gonna be
have an orange cast, which is a significant upgrade from their Mast of Purple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is their...
They can also, exhaust this. When choosing the target of a spell, increase your Sphere of Influence by 2.
So they have increased range.
Yeah, that's actually really swanky.
And where's their gore shot?
So they're going to keep Gore Shot as well. So Gore Shot is spell 6, deal 2 magic damage, and then you can take 1 indestructible damage to do an additional...
Irreducible!
Oh, thank you. I got that in my head now because of Josh. 1 irreducible damage to deal an additional magic damage of your highest level Crore, which is an additional 1. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off right now. So that's Twitch's character in a nutshell. Oh, help, I'm in a nutshell. So I'm playing Zeke still. I got rid of my leather jacket, and I picked up a Cuirass. So this is going to give me +1 armor, and then I can exhaust it to reduce physical damage by 2. It's pretty nice. I've got too many belts. So I can. This has a passive ability of the first time each turn you are dealt physical damage by an attack, reduce it by 2, and then I can exhaust it to dodge. So the reason that I've got all of that going on for damage reduction is because I've got my ability core for counter. So I'm set up to help counter things in the front lines, and this is going to give me +1 defense as well. I picked up a fight drive just in case I wanted to go really heavy on damage one turn. I kept the Sword of Dominions that Anne picked up for me because she's awesome, so that rolls an orange finesse die for the attack. I'm pairing that with the longsword, and that'll roll an orange die also, so I'll be rolling 2 oranges for my attacks, and then it auto gains +1 physical damage, and then when I kill an enemy within, I heal an ally within my Sphere of Influence 3. So I'm awesome. I don't know about you. And then finally, I'm pairing that again with my Blade Works ability that I had in the mass, so I can exhaust that to do an attack with 2 one-handed weapons. And how about you?
That's pretty cool. So I decided that for the...
You're keeping your sexy lingerie.
Way to make it weird. The occult shirt. So I have the ability to dodge, and it gives me an additional movement.
Also, if it deals no damage, you unexhausted it.
On the counter.
And counter.
I liked the whole idea of the axe, but
And my axe!
I'm going to go a little different, and I got the halberd, because with these two who want to be all up in the praise, I think that the reach 2 is pretty great, and it was the only weapon with reach that we had.
So this one rolls 2 white dice. It's got reach 2 and a passive ability where you can provoke within that reach 2.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then you also have your cloak, which is going to give you, so we showed that off for Twitch, it gives you conviction boost as well as a dodge. And then you picked up the utility core, which is going to get you juice boxes on the regular.
Yes. So I get at the end of each encounter, I gain a random mundane consumable. But if I'm defeated, I get to flip the card, and at the start of the encounter, I get a conviction upgrade of white also for this.
And then finally, you picked up the familiar ability here. So after learning this discipline, choose a familiar and place it face up next to your adventurer, and then your familiar cannot be changed. So you've picked Yuxa. Is that a dragon?
I don't know
It's
what you're
like a
talking
water
about.
fox, I think.
It's a water dragon.
Sure.
Oh, no, it's not a dragon. It's definitely a water fox.
It's a fox?
Yeah.
It's a fox.
It looked like it had big dragon antlers.
I don't think dragons have antlers, Anne.
They do. What is a fox? Its legs. That's cool. I'm
What
still
does
cool
the fox say?
So my Foxy, when I deal damage to an opponent, I'm going to heal 1. If I want to flip this card, I can dodge and gain 1 SP.
Cool. Josh, what are you doing?
I went. So I got a lot of the same stuff you'd have. I have the Cuirass, the Too Many Belts, and the Ability Core.
So that's the damage reduction
Yep.
and
Counter.
stuff. And then you're pairing that with the
Mace?
Morningstar.
Yeah, that one.
So that is going to combo with the shield that he has, the medium shield, and that gives an exhaust. When countering, you may reroll any one of your dice, and then follow-up action. If the target of your attack was defeated, move up to 2 spaces, which is good for Mr. I don't move very fast. And then we've got the medium shield here, which is going to give him +1 armor, and also he can exhaust to empower, or more importantly, exhaust to counter.
Well, he exhausts it to empower his ranged attack. But he doesn't have a ranged
What?
weapon.
Where are you seeing range? Oh, combo ranged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
So for the melee attack with the Morningstar, what he's going to be able to combo is that he's going to have finesse is going to be a white die.
yes, he's gonna roll 2 white die, and then he can exhaust this to counter as well. So he's going for a heavy counter build. And then finally, he's got the Fate Engine, so it's going to upgrade his conviction, and then once per an encounter, after a roll is made against you, remove all symbols from 1 die.
And that's one of the ones that we got in the mast, but Nightingale had it. And you can only hold 1 thing.
Alrighty then.
What is it called? Relic.
Yeah. So now we're going to continue on to the path to citizenship. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. What's your ability that you got?
Oh, I grabbed Magic Armor.
So basically what that means is he can spend an SP to exhaust this and then cast +1 armor on an ally, which includes himself, within Sphere of Influence. And if it's anyone but himself, it reduces the cost by 1, so it's free.
Yeah. So I
So
give
is that armor only for the turn?
No, it's a status until someone
Does
removes
it
it.
stack?
I don't think you could stack effects,
Okay.
but like
Yeah,
I can
'cause-
give 1 to everyone in the
Yeah, I
first
could see you
turns.
every turn just stacking it on one person, making them kind of invincible.
Would you be that one person? You got so excited.
Anyways, so now we're going to continue on to the path to citizenship.
Yeah.
Never in her life had Nightingale enjoyed walking out of the Institute of Elenia so much. More than once she caught herself skipping, and she had to slow herself back into a walk. Even so, there was no hiding the pride in her steps.
Have to admit, expected it to be harder.
That is you. Rook was saying, his voice low, as he and the others followed behind her.
But I'm not complaining. If the monsters in the world are going to be anything like that, I would say we're well prepared.
Zeke's contribution to the overall dignity was an absence of a cigarette. Though Nightingale caught one palmed behind one of his fingers whenever she saw his left hand. I'm just glad all the studying made a difference, Zeke commented. I get that we don't age anymore, but it would still suck to have to spend 2 more years in school. Speaking of not aging, it's Anne's birthday today. Happy birthday, Anne.
Thank you.
Happy 3rd, 29th birthday.
Thank you. 4th.
As they walked into the courtyard with their fellow students, Nightingale was surprised by just how many people were waiting outside. She noticed that a lot of eyes were on them, and tried not to look too self-conscious. She supposed that when royalty did something like this, everyone paid attention. The crowd outside was mostly made up of the parents and families of hopeful graduates, clapping and embracing their children. Nightingale's own Midaran parents waited just outside the door. Queen Kezia reached her first, crossing the distance in a few quick strides and scooping her into a tight hug.
Nightingale! Mom?
Despite how delicate the queen looked, Nightingale found the hug so tight she had trouble breathing.
Do you have any idea how long it's been since someone scored that well?
Kezia released her, though one hand still lingered on her shoulder. King Balthazar stood on his wife's other side, bright robe fluttering a little in the breeze. He didn't reach out to embrace her as the queen had done, but he did nod with obvious respect.
You are a credit to the family, Nightingale. My hope for your potential was clearly well placed. Of course, your companions deserve equal credit.
He looked past her, first to Zeke.
I have come to expect quality from the Yong house, and you have not disappointed.
Thank you, Your Grace. Zeke bowed, though only briefly. Nightingale got out of his way, gesturing eagerly at the members of their team she didn't know before the test.
Rook Lars, if I'm not mistaken.
Balthazar extended a hand to Rook. For all his size, all his strength and confidence, Rook had gone pale and rigid. He could only nod, his mouth hanging open a little.
Your performance is to be commended, young man. I suspect Elenia may come to know your family better in the coming years. I hardly deserve such praise, my king.
Rook said, adding more finesse to the same bow that Zeke had made.
It was an honor to have the opportunity to take the mast along with your daughter.
So, it's really interesting how Rook and the King sound exactly the same.
Balthazar's smile faltered a little as he finally turned to Remi and nodded sternly without addressing her further. Nightingale could see concern on Kezia's face, and a brief look of confusion the king and queen shared. Remi squirmed under their look and did an awkward curtsy.
Your Grace?
She muttered. Balthazar forced a smile and then cleared his throat, holding his arm out. Queen Kezia nodded and stepped forward. She offered each of them an envelope.
The graduation ceremony is tonight. In Alenia proper, I look forward to seeing each of you there.
The king and queen did not wait for a response, but strode away in the crowd. Soon enough, they were buried by excited parents and cheering onlookers. As soon as Nightingale's parents disappeared, 3 more people hurried over. A stern-looking woman was the first to arrive. She was wearing a formal dress, but a slightly more relaxed smile. Nightingale recognized her as Ida Yong, Zeke's mother and second only in power to her own Middaran parents.
Balthazar told me how well you scored, and I was pleasantly surprised. Congratulations.
She offered a single, delicate hand. Zeke took the offered hand. Thank you. He replied in an attempt to match his mother's regal etiquette.
That's regal.
Thank you.
There was no missing the family resemblance between them. It was a cooperative effort. My contributions were only a part of our success.
All Alenia knows by now.
Ida said, a little quieter.
Your success breeds confidence, badly needed when the future is so uncertain.
She looked up, inclining her head just slightly to Nightingale.
In the life waiting outside these gates, every success belongs to the people. You have given them something to celebrate.
Nightingale had a little trouble holding herself, as Ida Jiang seemed to expect. That didn't mean she failed to use the proper respect in her tone, however.
It was just the mast. Everyone had to take it, and plenty of students did as well as all of us.
Ida smiled a little, though there was something indulgent in it.
Perhaps, but it was reassuring evidence that Alenia's ruling families have the strength to lead them through the difficulties we face.
Nightingale nearly jumped as Ida abruptly tugged her son for a close hug, despite all the people watching. Nightingale retreated a little, looking away as Ida whispered something into his ear. Zeke smiled, but he didn't manage to say anything before Ida broke apart and vanished into the crowd with a graceful flutter of her gown. Just a few feet away, there was nothing at all of forced dignity in the way Rook's parents embraced him.
Mom? Dad?
Rook said as he embraced them. His mother seemed so overwhelmed she could barely speak.
I'm just so proud!
You know who the man was, right?
I don't think he was. Yeah.
His father said in awe.
There we go.
King Balthazar?
Rook replied.
Founder and ruler of Ilana?
Alenia?
Elenia?
He tried to sound as casual about it as he could, but there was no keeping the smile from his voice.
Guess it's pretty amazing.
King Balthazar Arson recognizing our son?
His mother hugged him again,
We couldn't be more proud.
though not so tight this time. When she let go, his father patted him on the back.
Well, still miss you at the farm, son, but I'm glad you left. You got more in store for you than weeding and mending fences. Thanks, Dad. Don't need to exaggerate, though. I'm sure it's not...
Oh, it is.
The mother cut him off. Then she lowered her voice and leaned in close to him.
The captain of the King's Guard wanted a word with you tonight before the graduation party.
Really?
Rook tried to hide his smile, but his grin widened despite his efforts.
All right, I'll say goodbye to my friends, and we can take off.
While the others were preoccupied speaking with their parents, Remi was alone, staring awkwardly at the slip of paper with her grade. She shuffled her feet, retreating a step or two every time she thought nobody was looking. Remi's escape was thwarted with an unexpected hug so tight it scrunched her wings and drove the air from her lungs.
Hey!
Nightingale might be the shorter of the two, but she was heavy enough to make Remi wince.
You're coming to the graduation tonight, right?
Nightingale let go, flashing her own invitation near Remi's face. Remi tried to swat it away.
Where's your dad?
Nightingale looked around, expecting to see another man with wings meandering about the crowd.
He's not coming.
Remi thumbed at her mast.
He'd be happy I scored so well, though. Oh, so he doesn't live in the city? That means you're at the dorms by yourself tonight.
Nightingale trailed off for a moment.
But maybe you'd like to come with me instead. I'm staying with Zeke's family. You could probably hang out with us until the party.
Remi glanced briefly back at the Institute and remembered the lonely little dorm room waiting for her inside.
Are you sure your parents won't mind if we're hanging out? I mean, you saw how they acted when they found out I was on your team during the mast. Yeah, I don't really care about that.
Nightingale said dismissively.
What good is being a princess if I can't even choose my own friends? So come on, you can say we want to hang out or not.
Remi smiled, looking at the invitation.
Sure, that sounds nice.
Continue till the graduation on page 24.
All of the reading.
All the reading.
Look at what the mom looks like.
What?
Like your boots?
Yeah, I do like the
Wait, who is... Oh, that's Kezia? I didn't realize that was the mother. Why is the mom so young? Oh, they stop aging?
Yeah.
They stop aging.
Whose
So-
mom is that?
That's the
That's
queen.
Nightingale's
That's
mom.
Queen? Oh.
Queen's a MILF. All right.
Matt said dismissively.
Eventually, the sun disappeared from the sky, and Nightingale found herself standing in the largest ballroom in the city of Elenia. Even the large space had trouble containing the graduates and their families. She shifted uncontrollably in her gown, trying to ignore the sheer volume of people watching. Being a princess is way less awesome than it is in the movies, she thought as she forced herself to be polite for each and every trite greeting and congratulations. How many of the complete strangers accosting her were doing the same for the other graduates? Nightingale glanced down at the tables, seated in rows on the lower level of the ballroom, and couldn't help but wish she was sitting with all of the other normal students. They were having a good time with their own families, unbothered by the constant barrage of the pompous elite. The special treatment bothered her, and it looked like Zeke got about as much of it as she did, though he was a little less graceful about accepting it. Just beside her, Remi received only confused and suspicious looks by the other royalty. By now, Nightingale had noticed Balthazar's and Kezia's aversion to the girl, though she didn't know why. Between a break of compliments on her graduation, Nightingale saw a familiar face shift in the crowds nearby.
I think I see Rook up there.
Nightingale said, pointing. Remi's eyes flickered, following her gesture into the crowd.
Follow me.
Nightingale grabbed Remi's hand and waded through the well-dressed people of all kinds, passing between tables piled high with dignified horses' ovaries and uninteresting drinks. Rook was standing only a few feet from a raised
so
platform in the center, chatting animatedly with a boy with giant wings hanging from his back.
Hey,
Nightingale waved, hurrying the rest of the way over.
I was planning on introducing you guys to Khufu tonight. Looks like you've already met him.
Nightingale looked around, searching to see if Rook's parents were somewhere nearby. After the way they had acted, Nightingale was a little surprised they weren't. That meeting Rook's parents mentioned must have gone pretty well if he was talking to Khufu. Nightingale wondered if he might have been invited into the Demiurge. She could think of no other explanation for why Rook was waiting at the table with the rest of the Demiurge soldiers. Balthazar usually retained as his personal guard. If they invited Rook, maybe I've got a chance too, Nightingale thought excitedly. Her tail flicked between her at the thought. Nightingale suddenly noticed that Remi was ruffling her wings a little.
This is your friend from Earth?
Remi asked with a smile. Khufu glanced at Nightingale.
Are you telling everyone about our high school shenanigans?
Is he a pirate?
Yep.
Yar! Are you
Agreed that
telling
the-
everyone about our high school shenanigans? I thought we agree at the times were under lock and key.
You yelled that I don't have voices. My voice
mean-
range is limited.
do your one girl voice. Now do your other girl voice.
This is all the girl voices at once.
I mean, not everything.
Nightingale glanced sideways. Then she looked back at Khufu.
How am I not supposed to tell people that I have a friend from Earth here on Middara, though?
You didn't tell me he had wings. Remi leaned to inspect Khufu's large wings.
Red,
Red,
large
large
wings. Are you
wings.
colorblind too? You can't read colors? That's special kind of colorblind? They're gorgeous.
Wing buddies.
That's not how he says that.
Yar, wing buddies!
Wing buddies.
That's not how he says that either. Although it's pretty funny.
Wing buddies.
That is exactly how that got said.
Khufu held out his hand for a high five.
Wing buddies!
Remi jumped up and smacked it. Nightingale giggled, and then Khufu and Remi looked at her expectantly.
Oh, sorry.
She squeaked.
I guess you meant Rook, but not Remi. Remi, this is Khufu.
They exchanged a few pleasantries, though Remi was suddenly bubbling with energy.
Those look big enough to actually work.
They are!
You can read for him.
I have to.
Go for it.
I mean, I don't know which are his lines, but
th-
Khufu said, rolling his own wings a little.
They've come in handy in a few tight spots, haven't they, Nightingale?
Can't. That's right. Usually not my fault. We need to be bailed out, though.
Nightingale slapped him on the back with a wide grin.
Of course not.
Khufu lowered his head in mock deference.
A princess of Elenia could make no mistakes.
Is he
Turned a little Irish there. He's an Irish pirate.
Is he a leprechaun?
Leprechaun pirate.
Does he have a peg leg? That's why he's got the wings?
Yes. A princess of Elenia also can't attend a good party, Zeke interjected, popping into the conversation from seemingly nowhere. He looked around with disappointment. Now my uncle, he knows how to throw a real party. Too bad we're too dignified to attend such crass and wasteful gatherings. Nightingale found herself laughing at Zeke's impression of his mother. Nightingale had stumbled into more than one of Ida's lectures during her time living in the Young Mansion, and although they were always directed at Zeke, she knew that Ida expected just as much from her. Someone tapped her on the shoulder, and Nightingale turned, half expecting another total stranger to waste more of her time with empty congratulations. Instead, she found herself facing her sister.
Congratulations on graduating, Nightingale. I knew you could do it.
Shayless wasted no time pulling her into yet another embrace.
Yeah. I had good teachers.
Nightingale pushed herself free. She glanced around, searching the nearby crowd.
Hey, have you seen Antoinette? The other Jongs are here. I was really hoping to say hi.
Zeke's sister seemed to be the only one that got out under the thumb of the politics of her family, and Nightingale had always wanted to ask how she did it. If there was a time she would be able to have a chat with her, it'd be now.
She isn't here, unfortunately.
Shayless answered.
Antoinette is off doing her Pirates of the Caribbean thing.
More pirates!
Yep.
That's how I know Khufu.
Yeah, Nightingale lowered her voice conspiratorially.
Lady Ida snaps at Zeke for using the wrong salad fork, but lets one of her daughters sail off to be a pirate. Privateer.
Shayless corrected. She seemed to deflate a little, sighing.
And that's
She struggled for a moment, then shrugged.
complicated. I'm sure it is.
Nightingale said.
I'd love to know her secret. Obstinance.
Shayless muttered.
Her father was the only one she listened to. With him gone, Ida never figured out how to control her. Luckily, Zeke doesn't give her much trouble.
Shayless shot a look at Zeke. Yeah, Zeke shrugged. I'd not worry too much about it, Knight. I never see her either. God knows I've heard Ida talk enough about her. I probably know her better than Shayless.
Well, she has the right idea. I'd love to be a pirate. Arr.
Nightingale then excitedly turned.
Remi.
She reached out and grabbed at her new friend's wrist and pulled her forward.
My sister, Shayless.
She said in a crude introduction.
I feel like I'm only a display.
Remi said exasperated and then smiled at Shayless.
Nice to meet you again, princess.
Remi scratched the back of her head and scrunched her face.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to curtsy or bow or take your hand or...
Shayless gave her a long look and then finally smiled.
It's okay. Shayless is fine. No need for formalities. I'm guessing Nightingale invited you? Yes, Prince Shayless.
Remi stuttered.
I hope that isn't a problem. Yeah?
Nightingale said, putting a hand on her hip.
I hope it isn't a problem.
Shayless's lips curled into a genuine smile that showed her teeth.
Of course not. You can hang around whoever you'd like.
Unless it be me! Khufu stepped up and lifted Shayless's hand.
And scared everybody.
Respectfully. Yar, princess! Good to be seeing ya again!
Khufu. I hope the Zhangs have been utilizing your skills well. Or should I say, your free ticket into the Demiurge.
Balthazar didn't want me around his awesome daughter. What can I say?
Khufu fist bumped Nightingale without taking his eyes off of Shayless.
It's not like they go any easier on me. I swear Balthazar is hoping I get myself killed.
Nightingale nervously laughed.
He wouldn't do that.
Then she glanced towards Shayless.
Would he?
Shayless only smiled.
Rook be a lucky man.
Khufu said, glancing back towards the towering shape behind them. Rook was deep in conversation with the other demiurge. Nightingale watched him with envy.
So they're going to train him then? Let him in?
Nightingale stopped talking as the room around them became suddenly silent at the approach of new arrivals. She didn't even have to look to know who it would be. King Balthazar and her older brother, Yol, the heir apparent, entered the ballroom. Yol walked at the lead, his face as sharp as the suit he wore. He barely seemed to slow as he approached them.
Good work, little sis.
He didn't wait for her response, continuing on to the table where Queen Kezia was already saving several seats.
That's,
Oh,
the
yeah,
dad.
he's definitely a pirate. That's Khufu.
Oh, he's
He's an emo pirate.
got the bandana and everything.
Looks like Adam Poots.
He does! I was going to say that!
King Balthazar was the picture of regal bearing. His armor glittered and polished, and his beard immaculately trimmed. What he lacked in grace he made up in confidence, only accentuated by the scars on his face and the streaks on his gray beard.
This is too big to fit in the card cam, isn't it?
He didn't say that.
I was going to show the picture.
Yeah. Balthazar continued to the walk to the waiting stage. He stopped there, tapping one finger on the edge of the podium, quieting down the rest of the room before speaking.
We gather here today to celebrate the accomplishments of each and every one of you who completed the mast. As you leave this institution and enter Elania as citizens, carry the lessons you have learned with you. Do not be fooled into thinking that agelessness means immortality, and that the rising generation does not need you. You all are the strength of our great country. It will depend on your contributions in the years and decades ahead.
There was a polite applause from around the room. Balthazar waited for silence before he continued.
Middara might not be the world you know best, but we hope now we have given you the tools to call it home.
Nightingale didn't wait a moment more than she had to. As soon as her father stepped down from the podium and the party resumed, she was at his side. He didn't seem surprised, only a little wary.
Yes, Nightingale?
The sound of conversation had picked up around them, and she made sure to keep her voice quiet that it wouldn't carry. She shuffled uneasily from foot to foot, her tail twitching behind her. She spent just a few more seconds getting up the courage, then it all came tumbling out in a rush.
I'd like to join the Demiurge. I know it's a little strange, but I have to have a member of the royal family join the ones who protect them. But Dominic did it before he died, and Khufu will vouch for me, and now that you've let Rook join, we could totally train together.
Balthazar silenced her with a raised hand, and the rest of her word petered out like the last drops from a faucet.
I'm sorry, Nightingale. That just isn't possible.
He turned away from the table as though to make for one of the doors. She probably should have let him go, but she didn't. Nightingale hadn't fought through 3 hellish days of mass testing just to give up on her dream without a fight. She reached out, catching him by the arm.
Wait!
Several people watching gawked nearby. Conversations fell to a hush. She ignored them all.
Please, Father, I know you're skeptical of anything that might put me in danger, but that's the exact opposite of what this is. You didn't think by being better prepared was putting Dominic in danger?
Balthazar frowned at the mention of his dead son's name before raising his voice.
Your older brother was twice the warrior you are.
Balthazar turned, his expression growing firm.
He had the wisdom and skills of many years before he qualified to join the Demiurge.
But Rook?
Rook wasn't accepted into Demiurge training.
Balthazar's voice raised another few decibels.
I don't know if you remember, but he saved your life from an earth lower during the mast. When you failed to use your Bellicuse cube in reasonable amount of time, I made him into your personal knight.
Knight? But
You're important to this kingdom, Nightingale.
He interrupted.
So important that I felt it necessary to keep you protected at all times. Elenia needs you right where you are.
well, maybe I don't care.
Nightingale ignored the fact that her father towered over her, and there were at least a dozen people staring at them.
My real family didn't love me because I was useful. They loved me because they were my family.
Balthazar sighed and forcefully calmed himself before replying.
Your real family is right here, Nightingale. Don't think that a few years on Earth will change the entirety waiting for you here in Elenia. Those years on Earth don't change how much your mother and I care about you.
She turned her back on him, tail swishing furiously behind her.
Could have fooled me.
She didn't wait for a response. Didn't even look at him. Nightingale stalked away, each step angrier than the last as she made her way to her friend's table. By the time she arrived, the party had gone back into full swing, and her friends had all sat down to eat.
Hey, Zeke.
She didn't sit down. Zeke looked up from the table behind a freshly lit cigarette that was hanging out of one corner of his mouth. Yeah?
That uncle of yours? The one that throws the crazy ragers?
Yoon?
Yeah, Yoon.
Nightingale leaned closer to him.
Is he doing anything tonight? And could you get us into the party?
Of course. Zeke briefly glanced around, not seeing any ashtrays, before extinguishing his cigarette against the white tablecloth.
I'm not sure that's wise, Nightingale.
Rook spoke from across the table, voice even.
Family probably expects you to remain here for their party.
Nightingale tensed, turning away. She was probably speaking a little too loudly as she replied.
I don't give a damn what they expect right now. You don't get to choose either. You're my knight now, aren't you?
Zeke raised an eyebrow at the comment, but let it go. All right. Zeke rose from a slouch. I was planning on heading over there when this one got too boring anyways. Rook rose as well, looking down.
Guess I'm coming too, then.
Remi remained where she was, staring at the table. Maybe she expected them to take off, leaving her alone at the table. Instead, Nightingale rested one hand briefly on her shoulder.
You coming, Remi? I bet we'll have way more fun at a real party. Yeah!
She practically jumped to her feet, a little too quickly.
I mean, yes. That sounds fantastic.
She straightened, and together they left the graduation party behind. Continue to Yoon's party on page 27.
Brown chicken, brown cow. Wow, I forgot how amazing the white spires were. I haven't been here since I came to Middara.
Remi could barely find the words as she stared up into the sky, following a dozen different
Sharp stone lines.
Thank you. They seemed to have been made of white granite, placed not according to geometry, but to arcane patterns.
Ooh.
You get used to it. Zeke grunted, already smoking. It's not all that great, really. Guards are the worst. Damn portal to Earth means we've got more than almost anywhere else here. Oh, man, almost anywhere else. This place is meant to keep you just as much as out. In just as much as out. I can't read.
The grounds were elegant, white granite surrounded with carefully groomed gardens. Remi could smell the flowers, even if most had closed against the chill. And Yoon's throwing a party here?
Nightingale seemed angrier than she had been at the graduation party.
In the same place that holds the portal?
There was a little reverence in her voice at the last word. Each of them had used that portal, and all of them understood its value. No portal, no kingdom. Yeah, but this place is way bigger than it looks. It's not like he's having the party where the portal is. He gestured down the ground with his cigarette. The portal would be impossible for us to get anywhere near. Yoon holds this party near the White Vaults of Elenia. They say that the deeper you go, the deeper...
They say that they go deeper than the spires go high.
I don't think anybody knows exactly how far. He stopped for a moment, then grinned. Can you hear the music? Yoon always hires most popular acts. Remi could hear it, steady bass so loud it came to her feet, accompanied with flashing lights from up ahead. They turned a corner and suddenly face to face with a pair of surly-looking men on either side of a door.
Zeke!
They sprang into action, flinging the door open.
Lady Nightingale, a pleasure.
The guard said as they passed.
So they just let us in?
Rook wondered aloud. Lights flashing, music blaring, and dancing bodies filled the air with sweat. Where the arson graduation party had tables and 3-course meal, Yoon had a full-service bar and whole tables packed with drinks.
Matt's party!
The place resembled a nightclub from Earth more than a formal dinner party in a fantasy world. Am I Uncle Yoon?
You are.
Do you want to read his lines?
You are Drunkle Yoon.
I don't know. Sure. Nightingale approached the bar and downed a shot of something colorful and glowing.
That sounds about right.
Remi resisted the urge to do the same. If Nightingale reacted to the bad news the way some of Remi's Earth friends had, she'd probably be grateful for a sober friend in a few hours. The party was every bit as awesome as Zeke had led them to believe. The music was a refreshing throwback to the music from Earth, loud and abrasive. It provided a break from the choral and classical pieces some students had practiced in the Institute, and none of the dancing would have been okay at the school. At any school she'd ever attended. Remi was startled out of her musing by a hand on her shoulder. She jerked away defensively, but it was only Nightingale, grinning down at her with glowing blue teeth.
Zeke just got word we're wanted upstairs.
Nightingale set her glowing cup down on the table, the rest of the liquid sloshing out of it.
Smells like more politics. No big deal. Whatever we gotta do, I'm right there with you.
As they headed upstairs, Remi saw that Yun Yong wasn't like the arson family. He didn't put a throne down where he could see the party unfold beneath his watchful eyes. Instead, he chose a table at the very center, where he could participate in the drama as easily as observe.
You are Uncle Yun.
Remi smelled him before she saw him.
You are Uncle
Like
Yun.
every kind of liquor Earth had ever invented, and many others it hadn't.
You are Uncle Yun.
Yun separated himself from several attractive groupies.
You're no longer Uncle Yun.
Shoving out of the booth. Staggering as he rose to his feet, Yun was taller than Zeke and wore an open jacket over a lean, muscled chest.
Still not Uncle Yun.
His hair was styled, his face cleanly shaven, and crystal jewelry glowed faintly around his neck. Nephew!
Maybe a little Uncle Yun.
Yun smiled, opening his arms wide. I didn't expect you tonight! Institution graduation wasn't good enough? Zeke nodded. No one in Middara can throw a party like you. Truer words have never been spoken.
Oh,
Your friends look lovely!
Oh, this is so perfect.
He waved a hand with several glittering rings towards them,
Oh my god, he is you.
though he hardly seemed to see anyone besides Zeke. I wanted to acknowledge your presence before getting back to my
Proclivities.
proclivities. Oh, there's like a line through mine.
Yeah.
You kids enjoy yourselves. I would stay, but needed elsewhere. Zeke didn't say anything until Yun had walked off, heading towards a nearby doorway. That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen Yun care about something more than his parties. He's been trying to get me to come to a party with him ever since I got here, but now that we're all here, Remi wasn't sure where the impulse came from. She kept her voice as quiet as possible, as quiet as she could, and not be completely drowned by the music. Anyway,
I could follow him.
she didn't expect anyone to agree, and quickly felt silly for speaking up. Suddenly, though, Zeke nodded. Could you do it without getting caught? If Yun's got himself into trouble again, well, the rest of the family should know.
No problem.
Remi cracked her knuckles.
No, she didn't. That's gross. I hate that noise. I'll be right back.
Remi vanished into the party. She slumped her shoulders and tucked her wings as she moved with the crowd. With so many flashing lights and so many people, it wasn't that hard to disappear. She made it to the open doorway and strode in, though she knew exactly where she was going. Remi had not come to Middara to a kind family, as Rook had done. She hadn't even come back to well-meaning but callous-seeming nobility, as Zeke and Nightingale had. Remi's father loved her all right, and had taught her what he believed were the skills to survive. Sometimes that meant hiding in plain sight. Despite the security of the white vaults beneath, the halls around Yun's party were deserted. Remi hurried after the sound of retreating footfalls as quietly as possible. She memorized the hallways as she went, making a mental note of each twist. Soon enough, the footsteps stopped. Remi stopped too, straining her ears. It took a few seconds of concentration before she could make out the voices. You sure? Yun's voice was quiet. He's drunk. He's not quiet.
Absolutely.
The second speaker was female. Far brusquer.
We don't know how far he could have gotten by now.
You're positive someone didn't just forget to shut the door?
Unfortunately,
There was a hint of disgust in the woman's voice.
we don't make a mistake like that, sir.
What do we do about it? Yun's voice was a little louder, echoing through the halls. Remi took a moment to listen for any other noises, such as someone else coming from her direction. She didn't hear any yet, though. Should we send down a patrol or something? Maybe call the Demiurge up? Yun sounded increasingly frustrated.
No, sir. I suggest you strengthen the guard on every known exit. In the unlikely event he can find his way out, it will be into a waiting squadron of the guard.
Yun grumbled angrily. You called me away from an important gathering to tell me that we don't have to do anything.
He looks like such a tool.
His voice rose again, though Remi doubted it would carry into the party. All right, Captain, keep on doing my family pays you for. Doing the job my family pays you for.
Coach Steve a little bit there?
The sound of footsteps resumed, much louder than before, and heading her way. Remi made her way back to the party in a hurry. She found Zeke first and let him do the work of gathering everybody up. Nightingale in particular seemed a bit remiss to leave the dance floor, but eventually she caved. No sooner had she been told what they'd learned than she started to smile.
You know what this means, right?
Nightingale grinned. Rook groaned.
If there's some
Please don't.
If there's some sort of thief down in the White Vaults, that means somebody should go in after them. Somebody like us.
Rook looked down with folded arms.
That sounds stupid.
You mean awesome!
Nightingale laughed, nudging Rook in the ribs. He didn't react.
Admit it! You want to go down there and do some real adventuring.
Rook reluctantly nodded.
Do want to go. It just seems like a knight errant should discourage his princess from making risky moves.
Nightingale rolled her eyes, turning to Zeke.
What about you? You know what's going to happen to us? When tonight's over, it might be years before our parents let us out from under their thumbs. Give it a few decades, and you might be married off to some cream puff to cement a stupid political alliance or whatever.
She rested one hand on his shoulder, smiling at him with her huge green eyes. With the lights flashing all around them, they practically glowed.
You don't want that shit, Zeke. You want to live.
She gestured down the hallway Remi had come from with a wild smile on her face.
Let's go catch us a thief. See the White Vaults of Elania for ourselves. Actually do something.
Sure. Zeke fished around, digging out one of his last cigarettes. Sounds like fun. Nightingale opened her mouth to argue, then shut it as she realized he agreed.
You're in? Obviously.
Remi grinned back.
The stories of what's down there? I wonder if the rumors are true.
Zeke cracked his
I
knuckles.
hate that noise.
All right, follow me. This place is a vault, but I think I might know a way in. Dungeon Delving, page 30. Oh, my lord.
Last page.
Story.
All the story.
I'm pretty sure the secret door is this way. Zeke peeked inside, opening it only a crack.
That's what you said 3 doors ago.
Nightingale crowded close to him, looking under his arm and shoving a glowstone through the opening.
Zeke knows where he's going.
Rook rumbled from somewhere behind.
He's using an exhaustive elimination system, like the way we've been ignoring all the doors marked vault entrance, staff only.
Zeke managed to resist the urge to try and kick his friend. Those signs are for the idiots who break into the vaults. We want to get killed.
Lots of them had guards, too.
Remi offered matter-of-factly.
Zeke probably doesn't want anyone knowing where we went.
You're damn right!
Zeke kept his voice low.
Squinting through the dark, with only Nightingale's glowstone to light the space for him. There are more ways in, though. The safe ones aren't marked. And the ones that can't be used to get out won't be guarded. He pulled back, glancing one last time around the hall to make sure nobody was watching them. When he didn't see anyone, Zeke put himself front of the door, turning to face them. Antoinette took me down this way once. I have to warn you, though, it's real steep. When you start sliding, get on your back, don't lift your head. He waited for a verbal acknowledgement from each of his friends before pushing the door open. The chamber beyond was exactly as he remembered it. About 20 square feet with worn carvings on the walls and empty torch brackets rusting away. It would have been entirely unremarkable were it not for the dramatic slope almost the instant they stepped inside. The floor was made of dark gray stone that was worn smooth by the passage of those before him. The ground dropped so dramatically that the glowstones they held couldn't illuminate where the opening went. It was a steep slide with a ceiling too low for even someone like Remi to fly back up. Last chance to back out. Zeke gestured at the slide. We'll have to find another way up. And remember, even the upper parts of the vaults aren't completely safe. Nightingale took a step into the room, sliding one of her flats along the slick rock. She jumped as the slick rocks almost stole her balance. Zeke reached to steady her, but there was no need. Nightingale caught herself, glaring at the floor.
I'm going.
That means I am too.
Rook added.
Assuming you think I can fit.
You can. Zeke shrugged one shoulder. We don't know what this thing was used for, but it's gigantic. Unsurprisingly, it was Nightingale who moved past him first.
All right, Rem Dog, Zeke Rhino,
Zeke
and
Reno.
Zeke. Oh,
Zeke Rhino?
yeah.
I thought I said Rhino too. That's why I called you Zeke Rhino the other day.
Oh, Zeke Reno.
Zeke Reno.
Nope, it's Rhino
It's
now.
Rhino.
Zeke Rhino and Rook. Let's go!
She lowered herself down as the drop became dramatic, then vanished with a squeal into the darkness.
I'm coming.
Remi needed no more encouragement, leaping feet first onto the slick stone after Nightingale. Rook followed, though more carefully, lowering himself slowly on the flat part of the room, then pushing off.
See you down there, Zeke Rhino.
Zeke Reno.
Zeke Rhino.
Zeke Rhino.
Zeke nodded. It wasn't the worst name Nightingale had called him. He didn't give himself time to contemplate the trip. He just stepped out into the room and shoved towards the drop. Air whipped his hair as he slid, gathering grime and dirt along the way.
That's gross.
True to his advice, the ceiling blurred as he flew by, dangerously close to his face. After what felt like several minutes in darkness, Zeke saw the first flickers of light. The top of the chute opened as it descended, revealing an uneven cave ceiling of stalactites and rough stone. The rock itself seemed alight, flickering with 1,000 different colors. He could just pick out the shapes of glittering geodes set into the ceiling above him. His family still didn't know what magic powered the lights, but they seemed to change every time he looked away. They were a quiet reminder that his family might occupy the White Spires, but they didn't understand them. Zeke could hear his friends' voices echoing nearby, even as the chute evened out and became flat. He dug his heels sharply into the sides of the shaft, bracing himself with his arms so he wouldn't go flying. Instead of slamming into his friends, he came to a reasonably graceful stop. Other than Nightingale's once beautiful dress, they made it down without any casualties. "Is everyone all right?" he asked, getting to his feet and brushing the worst of the slime away.
Give me a sec.
Nightingale tore at her dress, expanding the rip until it started to spread. Zeke felt his face grow red and turned away, grateful for the comparative darkness. He walked past Nightingale as she finished transforming her priceless gown into a makeshift skirt. He squinted against the gloom, trying to remember what he'd been taught about navigating the vaults. He didn't remember much aside from what Antoinette had told him. His sister had mentioned that there were many places they were considered far too dangerous to go, and others that were much less dangerous. The deeper you go, the more dangerous it gets. He at least remembered something she told him. I'm not sure where the thief would have gone. Probably down, though. Best chance of finding something valuable to steal is always down. Rook grunted.
Sure we can handle the monsters down here?
He was already armed, glaring off into the gloom with the gloom of a nearby carved stone archway. Probably. Zeke didn't sound confident. Not even my father saw the bottom of this place before he died. The Young family keeps guards here for a reason.
I hear something coming.
Rook's voice was flat.
Get ready.
Nightingale was beside him suddenly, baring her steel at the dark.
After tonight, anything that comes for me is dead.
Then she scoffed and smiled.
Not ready for the demurs. My ass.
A dangerous path, page 33. Oh my lord, that was
A book.
a novel. A novella.
War and Peace.
Who's War and Peace?
Kufa the pirate?
Khufu.
Khufu. Yarr! It be Khufu the pirate.
I'm captain now. Is he a Somali pirate?
No.
Middara pirate.
You quickly gather your senses as creatures amass up ahead. Loose patches of rock are scattered about the ground, and broken floor stones give way into pits that descend out of sight. The perilous walkway feels as if it would collapse at any moment. Across from you, eerie lights from the stone above cast pale shadows under a hooded figure looming in your path.
Ba ba ba.
All right, so we have those tiles set up. We've got a blue loot, a blue exit tile,
Yep.
1 animate, and 3 cavesicles.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn my Remi thing this way so that people can see it.
All right, so tip, urgency tokens. Encounters will trigger a lose condition if players earn too many urgency tokens. Urgency tokens force the players to keep moving. This prevents players from idling for too long. As soon as the players have 3 or more urgency tokens, all adventurers are defeated. This will lead to a lose condition of the current encounter.
Well, fine then.
So, win condition, an adventurer ends their turn on the blue exit.
I think they're prejudiced against people with analysis paralysis.
No,
And
it's
we're
so...
going to start on that edge over there by your hand, Dan.
Why are we there then?
I don't know. So it's not to prevent analysis paralysis. It's about...
Do not. Put the stupid thing away. There's no top hat on it. What are you
What are
doing?
you putting caves? We already have cavesicles there.
Can you go away? Just go. like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who goes first? You go last.
Well, I need the initiative deck.
Yeah. No, it's over here somewhere. Oh no, it's right here. Yeah, not these things. Just that. Yeah, no, that too. Okay, have fun.
Hidey, hidey, hidey,
Heidi ho.
hidey. Yodey.
I guess I could do that. If I fly, I don't get the thing, right?
You can fly, you can fly, you can fly.
Right behind your other hand.
So we are fighting how many? 3 cavesicles? So
See.
1 cavesicle group and 1 animate.
Gonna
So
throw it in the
why
thing real
we
quick?
have the wrong cavesicle colors?
1, 2, and 3.
No.
Red, purple, and orange. Just give me the bag, please.
It's there.
Oh. Burp. Where does this one go?
Where that one was. All right, so initiative time. Oh, I guess we'll talk about the baddies.
Yeah.
So the animate is like a zombie dude. So he's got chains of perdition and heavy cleave, so he's really nasty. The first time each turn the animate hits with an attack, follow up, make another attack of the same type, of the same range type,
He's such a beast.
against the same target. Heavy cleave. The first time each turn the animate makes an attack against an adjacent opponent, it will empower the attack.
Powers the black die.
Every turn it's going to heal 2, and then continue down. Is there an opponent adjacent? It's going to attack, then move 2 spaces away, and does not provoke break attacks. And then if it's within Sphere of Influence, he's going to cast spells on it. He's just really nasty.
Sphere of Influence is 4.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's going to roll a teal and an orange die. He's got 18 health, 9 defense, 6 movement, and 2 armor.
He's a beast.
And then we're fighting the little Ocavesicles again of the cherry, grape, and orange variety. So they're going to swarm together. They've got that hive mind ability. They've got immunity poison. They can ignore rough terrain. And they're going to go for range 4 attacks unless you're adjacent. And typically they're dual white combat dice, but then they're going to be upgraded to white, orange, and orange, orange, depending on where they are in relation to each other. So, time for the...
How does initiative work in this game?
So there's a little deck of cards that we put together. It's the 4 of us, plus any baddie groups that we've got in there.
Little
We
decks.
shuffle them up, and then we determine who goes first. We're all going to start with 3 SP stamina points, and
The stamina tracker is here on the player board. So we all start with 3 here.
every turn you gain 3.
The way we like to use it is there is a stamina tracker, these little buttons here. We like to just ignore the numbers on them and use them to slide up and down the track.
And look who's first.
Who's that?
It's me. So Zeke's first. If you could put this somewhere where we can view it in the camera. All right, then we've got Remi.
That's pretty good.
Then we've got the animate.
That's really bad.
Then we've got Rook. Then we've got the Cavesicles. And that means last,
Oh.
but not least, is Twitch with Nightingale.
And she's in everybody's way. All right.
All right, so what do we have on the board here? So is that rough terrain, those shiny spots?
Yeah, so everything in the UV is that green outlined rough terrain.
It's hinders terrain, which we haven't talked about.
Hinders terrain?
Yeah, hinders terrain.
Hinderus.
You don't have you have
Oh, Hinderus.
Yes, Hinderus. Which also means when you're attacking from that or into one of those spots, you get -1 to your attack roll.
Okay. So how far am I away from being adjacent to the closest Cavesicle?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 6.
6? I've got 6 movement.
What are you doing with the thing? Just put it away.
Siete is 7, by the way.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it is 7.
Can you count in English, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Thank you. All right, so I am 7 spaces away,
1, 2, 3.
but what I'm going to do is...
Oh, pause. Let's talk about the overlay real quick.
Oh, so we've got all of our stats up there. So first stat for each of our characters you see is the health. Next stat is the defense. Next is the movement. And then finally the armor. So the way that it works is when people are attacking, they have to meet or beat the defense score.
Yep.
Assuming that they do, they add up the differential between what their attack was and what the defense was, and then add any damage modifiers.
The delta. You were going to say the delta?
Yeah, I was going to say the delta. It works too.
I know.
And then
Just
that
your
becomes
nerd.
the amount of damage there. So then armor mitigates however many damage points that it is. So 1 armor reduces physical damage by 1 every turn. Magic ignores armor, and then irreducible damage is damage that cannot be reduced by different effects. Finally, you can dodge, so you can spend an SP to dodge an attack where you roll a black die.
You need to do it before you get attacked.
Before you get attacked. Every additional shield that you roll is +1 to your defense. And then if an attack does no damage, then you could spend 2 SP or exhaust an ability to counter it, which would allow you to do a full action against, or a full attack against the baddie. Good?
Yeah, when we're going to get to Twitch's turn, we can just go real quick. We'll go then real quick about the interactive options.
Yep. All right, so I am Zeke here. I got 6 movements, so I'm going to move. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, can you turn your mic
He's turned around so he's not facing anyone.
Doesn't mean anything.
Joking with you.
So if I use my sword, I can go diagonally here.
Yep, or you go diagonal the other way and hit the other one. You want to hit? Do you want to hit cherry or grape?
I'm going to go for this one here,
Which one is that?
cherry.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go diagonally in this direction there.
So you have to exhaust
So,
your sword, right, to
yes,
do that?
I'm exhausting my Sword of Dominions.
You still have the... Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've got some really awesome weapons because of you, man. So that was one of my SP to move. I am now going to exhaust my Bladeworks martial ability, which I had in the mast, which is going to give me a free attack with 2 one-handed weapons. So because I've got the Sword of Dominion and the longsword, they both combo because they're both swords and they're both light. Oh no, that's not light. Oh poo, I misread that.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's combo is the other weapon's light.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's the
Thank
other.
you. Yeah.
It would never work.
Yeah. Thank you. So it's comboing by having a light sword on the other side, and this one's comboing by having just a sword on the other side. What do you want?
The fan.
Oh, you want it off?
Thank you.
All right. And so because of that, they're both being upgraded to orange dice. I'm going to get +1 to the physical damage, but we'll go over that in a second anyways.
That's sick.
So I need 2 orange dice.
Sure.
This cave school's going to get F'd in the A.
That's rude.
All right.
So what'd you roll, Maddie?
That's not great. I rolled 4. 2 4s, rather. So I rolled 8. So 8 in total. The cave sickle has 8 defense.
But you're the attacker, so you went on ties.
I just realized I reversed his fan. I didn't shut it off. So I'm the attacker. Yes, I went on ties.
Get +1 physical damage.
Yeah, I get +1 physical damage, and then I'm also going to gain nothing else because I rolled 2 books. So I would get plus attack damage on either physical damage on either stars or shields,
Okay.
but I didn't roll
But
any.
yeah, you
It's
have
kind
to.
of a poopy roll, so I'm just going to do 1 damage to it.
With 2 orange die, that really was a poopy roll.
Yeah, it was a poopy roll.
So the game comes with these cute little heart counters to track damage.
Alrighty, so boop boop. So I am doing 1 damage to
Right in front of you.
Thank you. To Cavesicle Cherry. So then I'm going to spend 2 SP, and I am going to attack it again.
So what's neat is that they have the standard actions here, which tell you how many SP each thing costs. So Matt's movement costs 1 SP, and each attack is 2 SP, except the first attack Matt did using his special ability.
Yep. So that's good. You get that. And so then I rolled an 8 and a 2.
That's much better.
Not much.
Well, it's a 10, so you beat their defense by 2 points.
That's true. So then I get +1 from my 1 sword. And then I'm also going to get plus an additional 1 because I've got a star.
So you get, it's 4 damage?
2 plus 1 plus 1, yeah, 4 damage.
Okay, so then how much health does each one have?
6. It's got 1 health left.
Can you do anything else?
Can't exhaust a reroll or anything.
No, because I
Why are you putting
exhausted.
damage on you?
No, just let him keep it there.
No, because I exhausted that 1 sword that lets me reroll in order to
Move diagonally.
diagonally.
What's
What does
the...
your other sword do? Does it have an exhaust?
It does not.
Oh.
So it just has the attacks gain +1 blanket damage, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I could use my fight drive. I don't think it's worth it to take out a Cavesicle. I'll save
Already?
that
No,
when the animate comes
yes.
our way. So that's going to be the end of my turn.
Okay, so I go next. I have lots of movement. I have 7 movement and reach 2. To go through a friendly is 1 additional movement. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, that's so far.
If you're flying, you don't need to use additional movement.
I'm debating whether I'm moving or whether I'm flying, whether I'm spending 2 SP, because even if I fly, then I can't attack.
You could also fly over arduous terrain, whatever it's called.
Oh, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reach 2 is center to center?
Yep.
So I could attack from there.
Yep.
But I can't attack because I don't have enough SP.
Unless you drink your...
My fortitude already?
It's up to you. So, they're going to attack me. Probably.
And he's probably going to counter. He can counter it and probably kill it.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gets me as close as I can to the grape one for next, but that puts me right in their range.
They're going to go after Matt because they're going to melee first.
So, and I think it might be beneficial for you to just take a standard movement, because you're not going to get close enough to attack
Do anything,
You can't
and
attack
then
anyways.
Next round I'll get 3 and I'll max out at 5.
Exactly.
Okay, so you said does this hinder movement?
Yes, it does hinder movement, but it also
Hinders attack.
2,
hinders
3,
attacks.
4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. So then it's going to be the animate's turn. So the animate is going to... does he have damage?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so then is there an opponent adjacent?
Nope.
Is there an opponent within the sphere of influence?
Nope.
Can it move and make an attack of range 4?
What's the movement?
6?
Can it? Yeah. Maybe.
He can move here. Yeah, he could shoot you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
You can't move into the enemy spot, so
6.
you can't move diagonal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Like, no, because that's also... Oh, it can shoot over the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think...
No, he can't reach me.
He can't reach him.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought he could definitely hit me.
No.
So he's not going to do anything.
Okay.
Okay. So now it's Rook's turn.
I like that.
Rook has a movement of -4.
That was also completely intentional, by the way.
It was so not. Why does Rook have a movement of 7?
It should be 6.
He gave himself something that gives him plus movement, I think.
I should just have the standard 6. I don't know why I have an extra one on there.
How did you have -4 before from the hammers?
The hammers gave me a -1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're heavy.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
But I thought that... Oh, each one gave you -1? Because you had 4 movement
No,
before.
I had 5 movement before. You guys all had 7 though, so like I had 2 less movement than all of you.
Okay.
So just move me closer, please, and thank yous.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Boop. Now it's the Cavesicle's turn.
So how do the Cavesicles attack, Matt?
Like this. No. So first up is going to be Cavesicle Cherry. So is there an opponent adjacent?
Yes!
All right. So he's going to attack me.
Yeah, it is.
So it has 2 others within the sphere of influence, so it is going to roll 2 orange dice. So this is where the interactivity comes in. So folks, I am going to ask you to roll some dice, either for yourself or for the baddies, with the ! roll command, or by doing the chat plugin. So right now, I'm going to suggest or request 2 orange dice. Please roll.
Using ! roll.
It's not showing up, Josh.
Like Beelzebub. Everyone roll.
No, the
the overlay.
the thing at the top.
It's coming. Josh, go fix
One
it.
second, folks.
Josh, go fix it.
You have it off right now.
How about now?
You just turned it back off.
I just turned it on.
No, I just turned it.
He turned it on, you turned it off. Quit hitting buttons.
All right, so now roll 2 orange dice.
There was a skit from Kevin James about that, and a car door and a handle. It's very funny.
Like the composer handle?
Yeah.
All right, they rolled a 2.
You need 2 orange dice. You only requested 1.
Oh, thought I hit the button twice. So one of them's a 2. That's
good.
good.
Low rolls are very good.
You're a low roll.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Rolling, keep those doggies rolling.
Rawhide.
Thank you, Beelzebub. Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Beelzebub.
An 8.
It's a 10.
That is a 10.
And your defense is a 10. Attacker wins on ties.
Yeah, my defense is a 10, isn't it?
So how much damage? But it's at meeting you. So what bonuses does it get for its symbols?
So it
you
is going
move it
to
up?
get 1 physical damage for each shield that it rolled. So they rolled 1 shield. So that's
that's
plus
1
1
damage.
physical damage, which I have 1 armor.
So you're
So
fine.
it does no damage, which means that it does no
Is there
damage
a
to me, and I'm going to exhaust this to counter.
Is there a follow-up?
There.
No. So there is. So it follow-up is when you succeed.
It did succeed.
Well, he's countering now, so he's gonna hit it in the face before it can follow up, and then cancels the follow up.
Does he counter it before the
Yep.
follow-up?
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Counter's really cool because it cancels follow up actions.
So I'm countering.
I read the rules today, so I refreshed myself with a couple of things that we didn't quite know.
You rolled a 10, which is...
More than 8,
Yeah.
and it kills it.
It did.
It's dead.
What sound does it make? No, this... Ew, it didn't do it. Okay.
We killed it. I mean, by we, I mean me. Alrighty, so that is going to be the end of that Cavesicle's turn. So next up, we've got Cavesicle Grape. So Cavesicle Grape, is it adjacent to anyone?
No.
No.
Alright, so is there an opponent within range 4?
Yes.
Yes.
Make a ranged 4 attack.
Okay. What does it need to roll?
It's going, since now there's 1 dead, it's going to roll a white and an orange. So chat, please roll 1 white and 1 orange dice. And let's see what it does to me. Hopefully nothing.
Oh my goodness, Twist Gaming finally leveled up to be a dragon.
What?
Dragon.
Oh.
The little mascot
They
face.
rolled a 2 and an 8. Oh, really?
That's
okay.
a 10,
That is a 10.
which is
They've got how many shields?
1.
shield.
So that does nothing because I have 1 armor.
Yep.
And then, can you counter a ranged attack?
I can't.
So then what does that do?
So so then it's don't point at me. So it's doing this attack profile now. So
Oh.
then move to be adjacent to the opponent with the most damage within movement range. So it has a movement of 6. All right.
He would just move. Yeah, he can move there.
Oh,
the
what
way
he-
you did it, since he was diagonal, that would give Matt a break attack option.
What? You're talking about a break attack from here to here?
Yes.
Yes, because Matt's adjacent there, so he would.
Do I
So
get a
you
break
want me to
attack
go
right now?
this
No,
way?
if he went that way, then it would be like he
He's
can
telling me
technically
to go to
do
the other
it,
corner.
just-
Okay. So then make a melee attack, and follow up for that one is inflict poison and force 9. So roll 1 more white and orange, and he's attacking me again. So I don't want to get poisoned.
Yeah, because
Poison's
that's bad.
nasty.
Poison's really bad. All right, so they rolled a 2
Oh, I should have done that,
and a 3.
Matt. On my turn, I would have cast barrier on you.
Oh, because it's a free SP.
It's a free SP for me.
All right, which means that other one wouldn't have succeeded.
It's +1 armor. It's not.
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
up your defense. It's
Gotcha.
armor.
Cool.
What
So
does
they rolled a-
barrier do?
it's +1 armor as a passive ability. So now I have 2 armor because of Josh. Thank you, Josh. All right, so then I'm assuming that can't stack either.
No.
So it attacked me. That one failed miserably, so it's not going to inflict poison or force 9.
Can you counter?
I can't.
Ooh.
I
What?
only have 1 counter available.
Oh, did you have to exhaust to counter?
I did.
Oh.
So I exhaust my ability core to counter.
What about your belt? I thought you got counter with your belt.
No, that gives me a dodge.
Oh.
I have a lot of dodge, but it's yeah. And then finally, we've got Cavesicle Orange is going to go. So it is adjacent to me.
No.
Is it within range 4 of me?
1, 2, yeah.
Okay, so he's going to attack. He's also going to roll white and orange.
1, 2.
He's
No, he
doing a
doesn't
ranged
move.
attack.
Oh, that's right. 1, 2, yeah, because it's over a hole in the ground. A chasm, if you will. He doesn't yeet over the chasm?
He does not yeet over said chasm.
Interesting.
I'm dodging. Saying it now. All right, so I need a black die, please. All right, chat, you gotta roll. You have to roll.
Why does it say Red Queen? Oh, because the person Red Queen rolled it. Wow. I was very confused. I thought it was like a character. It seemed like a character in the game. Never mind. I'm just gonna sit right here.
All right, so they rolled a 2 and a 7. I rolled a skull on my defense, so I don't get any additional defense. But a 2 and a 7 is a 9, and
Is that
9
for-
is less than 10.
Is that from your dodge? Can we put the skull up in the thing too? Just because I really just want to see that you put the big fat skull there.
Do it! All right, so then he's going to move adjacent to me.
Skull.
Okay, and come on.
That's only. Oh no, it is. I thought that was a follow up.
You're
Is
wrong.
he gonna jump?
No.
he's just gonna walk.
Okay, so then he's going to make one more attack against me. So white and orange, please, folks. Folks. So I don't have another dodge. I thought I had one more dodge.
I thought you said that you had a ton of dodge. Is your Curious have a dodge?
Thought I did too. No. That's weird. I thought I had another dodge.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those dices rolling.
That's okay.
Roll hard.
So 4 and a 4.
8.
8 is less than 10.
Did you get a chill?
Yeah.
I saw your whole body shake.
It's like 80 degrees in here.
I'm warm, but I just gotta chill.
All right, so they failed miserably again.
Yeah.
Beelzebub is also the MVP right now because
Yeah.
he's rolling a ton of dice.
I think.
So we love you, Beelzebub.
Yes.
Okay, so that is going to end the Cave Skull's turn. So now it's Twitch's turn. They can't really do much anything
They
right
can
now.
gore shot.
Woo woo.
Are they within range of Gore
They
Shot?
can move in gore shot.
Can they move within range of Gore Shot?
What's Gorshot's range? 4.
Yes, Sphere of Influence.
So that's. Is that another chasm? Okay, fine. So then they would just have to get here.
No, they can move in between Rook and Remi.
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement, which they have.
Okay.
So they can spend their movement and move into that empty space. So that's 1 SP to do that. So you're down to 2. And then they can Gore Shot away. So Gore Shot is going to be cast a spell, 6. That deals 2 magic damage if successful, so it costs 1 SP. Because you've got that really awesome Wand of Hindsight, it upgrades your casting die to an orange. You do have...
That's not within Sphere of Influence range. 1, 2. No, it's not. You're right. You gotta go here.
It's not?
I thought that's in 4.
Of
Grape?
1. Oh, this one?
Yeah.
I thought you were attacking orange.
Oh.
I mean, I'm here, but so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, it is for the purple.
Okay. So, if successful, deal 2 magic damage. Didn't they have to empower it, or was that a different thing?
No, that
That
was
was a
the
talisman.
Talisman.
All right. So, let's go ahead and do that. So they're gonna roll what, Josh? Just
One orange die.
1 orange die, and then they add
Plus 6.
6 to the result. And then
For the raid. Heartbroken.
it's my favorite. Hello, Heartboard Games.
Hi.
Oh, meatballs. Hello. So they rolled a 6. So a 6 plus 6 is
12.
Oh yeah, it sure
They
is.
need to do a conviction check.
So conviction on the Cavesicles is going to be 2 out of perps. So please roll 2 purple dice, chat. And for those of you just joining us, you can roll 2 by either downloading that extension and clicking it, or doing !roll in the channel right now to roll some dice. And you want to roll low here because this is for the opponent. Although they would have to have a perfect roll on this to meet it, and we still, if we tie, Goreshot's still successful, right?
Believe so.
So I think that they get it no matter what. Oh no, there's a 7 on the purple apparently.
That's a 13.
Yeah, so that,
So they pass their conviction check?
yeah, they do actually. So what they could do right now,
Oh, there's no 4 on the purple die.
they could do the Wand of Hindsight. So they could exhaust it at any time to reroll any dice except for the black die that you or an ally within a sphere of influence rolled.
You unexhaust on your next turn, right?
Yeah. So they could exhaust that to reroll that 7.
I see.
Because that's the highest possible roll on the purple die, right?
Reroll the 4. The 6.
No.
Why would they reroll the 6?
Oh, because it wants to go low.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kidding. Any roll? Wait, what does the text
Any
say?
roll.
Any roll except the black. So anything, as long as it's not a 7, then the Gore Shot succeeds. How about a 3? There we go.
So that makes it a 9. They don't pass their conviction check.
Which means they're going to do 2 direct damage. But they rolled... Oh, they only rolled 1 book. Oh, no. But, so how
2.
does- how does-
3.
I'm sorry.
That's-
How does this work?
But
That's
that's
if
a
they're
conviction check.
attacking with the
The wand itself.
self, yes. It does magic damage
Yeah.
and not physical damage.
Gotcha. So for that, it would still just roll a purple die? Or
you roll whatever both wands are. Because you attack with both wands.
so you don't roll the casting die though.
No, you wouldn't roll the casting.
You just roll 2
Yeah.
purple dice. That's interesting to know. All right.
If you want to stab people in the eyes with your wands.
Okay, fair enough. So that's going to do 2 damage to Cavesicle Grape. And then, let's do that one more time. You guys have another SP, right?
Yeah, they
Go for it.
All right, so I'm going to request that one more time. So you're going to need to roll an orange dice and then 2 white dice. No, I'm sorry, 2 purple dice.
Oh, you're.
All the dice.
The white dice mean nothing. So Beelzebub, you have to roll a lot. It's all on you. I believe in you. Oh, they rolled an 8. 8 plus 6 is 14, so technically they can't pass it now because I think a 7 is the highest on the purple
They rolled
die,
a
correct?
3 and a 3.
Okay, so 6 is less than 12.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, last I checked, it was.
So it
Okay.
hits and it's 2 more magic damage?
It is 2 more magic damage, and they are at 0 SP now. So,
And then Grape is at 1 health? How
2
much
health.
health?
2 health.
2 health.
All right, so then now it is going to be the end of the round.
Yeah.
So now it's going to go back to the beginning. So who's number 1? Matt's number 1.
Eh. We could take 2 HP damage and it dies.
That's true.
But would you want it? I don't know if that's worth it.
I think we save that for when we start attacking the animate.
Yeah.
Because the animate's going to be a jerk.
I mean, it is your choice.
Yeah. Do you let us know if you want to do that, Beelzebub, and I'll be happy to reduce your health by 2 to do that. And then Josh could just he can't heal you anymore. You could drink a juice box.
Juice box hero.
No, it's not a juice box hero.
Juice
box hero.
Got straws
Was
in his eyes.
It's disturbing. We could wait for the animate. That one sucks. I'm glad you agree. All right, so it's my turn now. My swords refresh. My ability refreshes. My ability core refreshes. My belt refreshes. I'm feeling good, and I've got 3 SP.
Are you feeling 22?
I like how he started and he wasn't quite sure where he was going with it.
So I am going to do my blade works first. So I'm going to attack Cavesicle Orange.
Okay, this one.
So I'm going to roll my 2 orange dice here. And it has a defense of 8. ESPN 8. The Ojo. Oh,
And you rolled a 7.
that was an awful roll, Matt.
Yes, sure was.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to exhaust my Sword of Dominions, which is going to give me a reroll on one of my dice.
So 3?
I'm going to reroll that 3.
It's probably a good idea.
7.
Much better.
All right, so 11 is a lot more than 8. So I rolled 3 books and a shield. Books do absolutely nothing for me, so I'm glad I rolled all those books.
And you need 2 shields
and I
on
need
each of your weapons.
2 shields to do anything, so that sucks. But I've got +1 physical damage for my longsword, so it's going to be 4 damage that I do to the Cavesicle.
And which one? You were attacking the orange one?
Yes, Cavesicle Orange.
Okay.
All right, so put a 1 on that one. So then now I am going to...
That was no. That was for you. What are you going to do?
Kill the orange one.
Oh, because you have your special ability, so you can do a second attack, right?
Or that was my free attack.
Oh, so now this is your attack with your. Did you Oh, yeah, because you were down to nothing.
Yeah.
So then that was your special ability. So now you can attack.
Yeah.
Kill orange. One of us can kill grape.
Yeah.
It's in closer range to us.
So I've got a question here.
Yep.
If I move right now,
Break
You would
attack.
Get 2 break attacks.
right? So I can counter those break attacks if they miss.
Technically.
Don't you only have 1 counter though?
Yes,
So you can only counter 1 of the break attacks.
correct. But well, that's not true because I can spend 2 HP to counter. I mean, that's not a great move there, but
I would just kill orange, and if you really wanted to use your SP to move, and then trigger a break attack and try to kill the last one, you could.
no. What I'm going for here is if I move and I trigger 2 break attacks, I can still kill one of them, but for 1 less SP, because I move with that 1 SP, and then I use my ability, my exhaust, my break attack.
And an attack is 2 SP.
Yeah,
I would just.
I'm
attack.
being cheap here.
I would just attack.
Fine. You're no fun. All right, so I'm going to attack the Cavesicle Orange. So I'm going to reduce my SP by 2, so I'm down to 1. And I rolled 6.
Do you want to use your one thing to move now?
No, I'll just stand right in the middle.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
So next up is Anne.
So I
What are
am
you gonna
going. My SP goes from 2 up to 5. I'm going to spend one of those to move 1, because now that puts me into reach 2, and I want. And I'm going to spend
Why
2.
not move directly up to the cavesicle?
Is there a difference?
You're one space closer to the animate, so you can save movement for later turns.
And I guess I'm going to kill him, so I'm not really in danger of getting hit.
Correct.
I could also go on the other side of it.
That's if you
would
spend
have
2
to
SP to fly. Otherwise, he's going to provoke a break attack from
5, 1, 2. I'd have enough. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You can do that. The animate's going to come and bust your face up.
Yep.
Keep that in mind.
Do I get flanking? What if I went here?
Yeah, you get flanking.
And I can turn when I fly?
Yeah.
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 So what if I go here? So then
can do that.
the animate's got movement of what?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Range 4.
That's a thing. Is that arduous terrain or is that
It doesn't
Still
count for
full.
range.
it's a hole?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still in range.
Just attack it from right in front of it.
Yeah. I was,
Just use your regular movement.
hoping to get the flag. Okay.
You don't need it.
You don't need it.
I know. Well, whatever. Sounded better. Okay, so I'm going to get used to my new weapon. I have my halberd, which is 2 white die, which is not really great. I wish I could get a die upgrade for that.
You're rolling 2 dice, though. You rolled a 3 and a 6.
It's a
That
9.
is 9. 9 is greater than 8.
And on that roll, I also got 2 shields, and 2 shields for me is +2 physical damage.
That was a 6. All right.
And
So
their defense is an 8, so it's 1 because I've beat it. That's not the way a 3 goes. It's very funny. Is it backwards 3? You're just going to keep it to
It's
annoy
upside
me.
down.
Whatever. So it's 1 point plus 2 more points for the physical damage. So that was 3 damage. You're so annoying. And he...
It's dead. He had 2 health.
Yeah, so it's dead.
took you a really long time to do that, Anne.
Math is hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
All right. So that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
You have used all your SP, right? No.
No, I have one more.
Is
But I
this a
can't...
crawl or adventure? It is adventure, Bachmeal.
But I can't do anything.
Thank
you for
the script, Val.
We love you. All right, and then it is the animate's turn. So the animate is not going to do anything again.
Okay.
That's a hole. Okay, but the guy was in his way last time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh,
6.
you're right.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's
Yeah,
gonna come hit
he's-
you.
he's gonna come hit
shoot
you.
you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You're right. All right, so the animate is going
Tried,
to...
Bachmeal. Tried.
We're trying. So we are doing this here. So he is attacking me. It is this one here that he's doing.
Yep.
So move to be in range 4, then make an attack. So he is going to roll a teal and orange die.
Actually, Twitch is gonna roll a tweel.
Tweel.
Wheel.
Tweel like a biscuit.
Teal and an orange die.
And so I've got a defense of 10.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Keep those doggies rolling.
Right.
That's a 6 and a 4.
That's
That
a
is a 10. So did he roll a shield and a book?
Yep.
He did. So that's going to be +1 physical damage. So that's 11. I've got 1 armor, so that does nothing.
All right.
And that's it. There's no follow-up?
I actually have 2 armor because of Josh. There's no follow-up. That's it.
That's not so bad. And, like... Oh, wait. Is that a successful hit? Does he have heavy the attack?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're correct. Thank you, Anne. Good on you. The first time each turn, the animate hits with an attack, make another attack with the same range and damage type against the target.
So he rolls another teal and orange.
All right, so teal and orange. Good call. I mean, F you, but
Sorry.
no, because it's a follow-up.
Got it. Got it.
Alrighty then. And they rolled a 5 and an 8.
Oh, sorry,
13.
Matt.
So that's 13, and they rolled 2 books and shields.
Yep.
So
And
that
a star.
is and a star.
Yep.
Just a...
Okay, so that's 13.
14, 15, 16, 17.
All right, so
7 damage.
Okay, hold on.
You have 2 armor.
I have 2 armor, so that reduces it by 5. Then the too many belts is the first time each turn you are dealt physical damage. That's not physical.
This is not.
No, this is
well, yeah,
not.
it is
Yeah, it is. It's physical damage.
No, it's not a melee
by a
attack.
melee attack. Has to be by a melee attack.
I misread that, otherwise I would have used the dodge there.
What about your curious?
The curious is when you are dealt damage, I can exhaust this to reduce physical damage that are dealt to you by 2. So I'm
You
going to
should do
exhaust that.
So that's at 3 damage now.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna go from
no.
12 to 9.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
What do you mean no?
I was doing math wrong in my head.
You just default to no all the time?
Yep.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay. I mean, that all things considered, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you could have gotten your butt handed to you.
Yeah, that was a big roll, too. All right, so that is going to be the end of the animate's turn. So, Rook, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go up to max.
Max.
How far is the animate away from me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces away.
I realized I have an SP and I could have done another ranged attack on the orange cavesicle.
I can get there in 8, Matt.
It's 2 SP to do an attack. Oh, you have 2 SP.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you could have killed it.
Matt's in the way of the orange one.
I can't attack through a friendly?
No. Not with a range. Not directly through them, no. Line of sight still counts for even melee.
Who are you calling fat?
You.
All right, so
Though I have.
what are you doing, Josh?
Trying to see if I get to the
Analysis paralysis.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
5,
7,
6,
2,
7,
3,
8,
1,
9,
5.
10. I need a 10, so that means I need to use
I
3.
said that like 2 minutes ago.
He's got to do his own math. He's got to do his Josh math.
Okay. Put me next to the animate, please, and thank you.
Where are you going? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yep.
7. Where are you going now?
8. Keep going.
8.
9, 10.
That,
Spent 3 SP.
that sounds like a terrible idea. And now what are you going to do?
I'm gonna attack him.
You have 2 more?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. How many extra movement points do you get per SP spent? 2?
Yes.
2 movement
Yes.
for 1 SP?
is 2 movement.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna have a white and a white die. Can I have 2
White
white dice, please?
And a white.
All right, and so the animate's got a defense of 9.
You were
I
about to
rolled a
pick.
14.
He's got 2 armor, so that means you are going to do. How much additional damage do you do?
So I got 2 7, so it's 14. I got 4 shields. Each 2 shields is plus 2 damage.
So plus 4 damage,
So plus 4 damage, and the stars are plus 1 damage.
plus 2 damage, so plus 6. 4.
Yes.
So you did 20?
I did 20.
Damn, that was a damn good roll.
Yeah, it was the best roll he could have gotten.
Yeah. So that is a 20. He is going to block 11 of that. So you're going to do 9 damage directly to the animate.
How much health does he have?
18.
Okay.
So he's at half health right now. Can I have some more health tokens, please? All right.
They're all 3s. Oh, here's a 5.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8.
Annoying.
9.
All right. So good job, Josh.
Sadly, I'm out of SP. I can't give myself armor.
Okay. So then,
I would have casted it on.
That's nice. Then it's the Cavesicle's turn. So it's orange Cavesicle.
on Anne.
But you say you don't have
Yeah.
any SP.
I get a free SP if I cast it on someone else. I can't cast it on myself.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would have liked to cast barrier on myself, so I didn't get pummeled in a minute.
Allies do not block line of sight. You get a -1 to attack roll to hit.
Oh, sorry.
I read the rules. I'm just messing.
I
Don't
don't
worry. So Cavesicle Orange is going to be attacking me. So he's going to roll just 2 white dice because there's no other ones within the sphere of influi.
That's nice.
I'm
It's
just
really
gonna counter and beat it up.
it's nice how the hive mind kind of
Scales.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That wasn't right.
Yas.
They rolled a 3 and a 6.
That's a 9.
That
That's
is
not
a
a
9.
hit.
It is not a hit. So I'm going to go ahead and exhaust my ability core, and I am going to counter. Foul heathen and my axe.
You don't have an
It's
axe.
swords and my
That's
And
lame.
my swords.
my swords.
Swords.
I rolled a 6 and a 2.
That's an
May the-
8.
That is just enough.
May the Schwartz be with you.
So that's an 8. Really? Come on.
Do you have any bonuses?
Self. I get +1 physical damage. I rolled 1 shield and 1 book. The book does nothing. I need 2 shields to do anything. So he has 1 health left.
Okay, well that was lame, Matt. I need more deaths.
I mean, I did
What do you
counter
got?
it at least.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you need? Yeah.
Nothing he had.
So now Twitch can clean it up, though.
That's true.
So where are they?
Right back here.
I mean, they can just move right behind me.
How much movement do they have? They have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would go here. That way they're close enough because Rook's going to take the damage, right? Across the size from the across the other side of the chasm.
What's the animate do? Matt.
On his turn,
Yeah.
he's going to first look at if there's anyone adjacent.
First he's going to heal too.
First he's going to heal 2, but then he's going to hit Josh. That's all. He's just going to beat up Josh.
Okay.
So what I would suggest, Ann, is potentially moving Twitch 1 space to the right instead of 1 space further forward, because they can still hit from that further range, and then they wouldn't be blocking your
2,
path.
3, 4, 5, 6,
And
7.
Yeah, there.
All right, guys, we're putting you there.
Because they've got 7 movement, right? Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Okay, 7.
All right, so then they can
Oh, they have
cast...
6.
They're
That's
Remi.
right.
No, they have 7.
No, they're
Oh,
Nightingale.
I'm sorry, they're Nightingale.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, you just counted wrong. So then Gore Shot here, so they can kill that 1 Cavesicle.
Orange.
Yeah, orange-flavored Cavesicle.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
No.
Oh.
So they're going to roll the orange, and they're going to roll 2 purples here.
Hello, the checkered speech.
The checkers
Hi.
speech. What's the checkers speech? All right, so they rolled a 3. That's not
a
good.
9.
It's 9. They rolled a 1 on the 1 purple die, and a 5, so that's fine. They kill it.
They killed it.
Is dead.
He dead.
Thank you for cleaning up after me.
Guess what that means?
We get loot.
Loot, loot.
So
Do we have a loot pile, a deck?
they're at 1
In front of you.
SP now.
Combat loot. Oh, so just the top one, right?
Yep.
Here you go. We got that thing. Did you set this up?
9.
There's a lot of loot.
That's
It's
what
a really
supposed to be.
big deck.
That's what she said.
Is 9 or is it 6?
They can shoot. Can they shoot the animate, or are they not in range?
1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
4.
They are.
Oh, shoot it.
Okay. Yeah,
Shoot it.
that's probably what they should do.
How much SP do they have? They
1.
spent. Oh,
They have 1 left, but I mean they can do that.
we can shoot. Basilbub says shoot.
He also has a conviction die of a
Beelzebub.
white and an orange. He's got a lot of conviction.
Roll good.
Roll well.
For the baddie, right?
Gooder.
That's not good.
We could use the ability as well.
What ability?
Encourage?
Oh, they can use their ambitious ability.
That one.
Nightingale gains 2 SP. All other allies gain 1.
Yep.
All right.
So
So they didn't get it.
Yeah.
He rolled an 11. They have an 8.
I think Beelzebub says use the ability. Anybody else saying
Oh.
use the ability?
Also, they can exhaust her wand of hindsight right
Put it-
now
In the
and re-roll their crappy 2.
That's
But
a good
would
idea.
that? What do they need to roll on it? A 5 plus?
Yeah, which is very reasonable for an orange die. It's 50-50 on the orange die. Why not? We'll do it. Do it live. I think it's a wonderful idea. It's a good thing.
You rolled a 3 again.
Not again. It was a 2 the first time, so it still failed. But they can use their ability right now, so we're all going to gain 1 SP.
Yeah.
They gain 2, so they're at 2 now. And then they can cast Gore Shot 2 more times.
Yep. Aw. It's like the collective aw. Alright, so the first orange is their gore shot.
Yes. That is correct, good ma'am. Good ma'am.
Good traveler.
So they also can use their enchanted
Ew.
piercings, by the way.
Never mind. Probably not good.
No,
No, they beat it.
Barely beat it.
They rolled an 8. The 2 plus 6.
Oh, there's a +6. I forgot it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they damage it. So I would say potentially...
Oh, what's his health at now?
So his health is going to be -2. So he is going to be at 7 health. It does go... Oh, not anytime soon. Yeah, they don't need to hurt themselves.
Lose an HP to do an extra damage.
Okay. So Josh reduced their HP by 1, and he's got 6 health left.
Do they get another gore shot? Do they have enough SP for it?
They sure do. And now they're at 0 SP.
You and I go before the animate.
Yeah.
I think we can take it down.
I don't even know if you're going to get a chance to go.
You're such a dweeb. Shoot all the things.
Yeah.
11 and a 10.
But they can... so, given that this is the end of the encounter, the things that flip at the end of the encounter, right?
No.
No.
Oh, they don't.
No. That's what it says when they flip.
In the book, it specifically says unflip them.
Oh.
Josh showed you the example of the item that did have a special way to spend the 3.
I wasn't paying attention. All right.
Do you
What's
want to
that?
give me the unused reds just
Yeah.
to get them out of your way?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to give me the bag?
All right. So, that's the end of the round. It is now going to be my turn. Twitch performed admirably there. So, I'm going to go up to max SP. I'm going to unuse or whatever all of my stuff.
This is for this.
All right. So, please move me diagonally adjacent to the animate.
So how much is your movement? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And you only unflip when it says restore adventurers.
Gotcha. All right, so now I'm going to beat it up. So first, I'm going to spend my Blade Works, and I'm going to attack. I rolled a 7
that was
and a
good.
6. He's got 9 defense.
13?
So I rolled 13. And I rolled 2 shields, which gives me +2 physical damage. So, and then I get 1 additional damage from my longsword. So that's
16.
3. So 16 against his 9, but 2 armor. So that's going to do 5 damage. And he's got 1 health left.
I need more damage tokens. Quick!
Flip
No,
the
you're,
5
you're,
over.
you're fine.
I wanted it to look even more impressive on here.
Yeah, so he's got 1 health left.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend 2 SP, and I'm going to attack. I attack the darkness. I rolled a 10.
Yeah.
With no shields, though. So he's got 9 health, 1 armor, 9 defense, 1 armor. So I actually don't do any damage.
But can't you exhaust your...
I'm sorry, 2 armor.
Can't you
But yes, I am going to exhaust my sword, and I'm going to re-roll that 3. And I rolled a 4
With a book!
with a book. Book
What does
doesn't
that
do
do?
anything for me. But the 1 extra means I do 1 damage.
On top of the armor?
So this is an 11, plus I get 1 additional damage from my longsword.
12 and his...
9 defense plus 2 armor.
Hey,
So I do 1 damage
which is just enough.
to kill it.
Good job.
He did.
He did!
Yeah, stupid animate, you smell.
Ready?
Guess what?
We get loot!
We get loot! That's the loot.
You put your hand up on my loot. When I toot, you toot, we toot.
That's weird.
4.
He did.
That was a broke animate. All right, so that is the end of my turn.
Good job.
So, Ann, do you want to go and just Zerg rush the loot now?
Yes, I do. So I go up to max because I do.
Who's Max?
So I'm gonna spend 2 to fly.
You can fly?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Can I ask why you're flying?
So she just have to go through me.
Yeah.
It costs the same thing.
No.
overall.
It costs... So it's a little bit more expensive to fly, because you're saving 1 movement, but 1 SP is 2 movement. So you're spending 2 SP to move the same amount of spaces. Do you understand?
No. So
She
I'm
still has to spend SP to move anyway, so you could count it to that 1 extra SP to move 2 spaces to move through me.
So if I moved 2, 1, 2, then it would be 7, and then I get an additional move, is what you're saying. Because I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I get 2 more because I spent 1 SP.
Yes.
So then
And
I
you-
spend another SP and go 1, 2, and now I'm adjacent to the
And you have to
loot,
spend 1 link
and
to
I
open it.
spend 1 to open the blue loot.
There
That
you
what's
go.
what we said?
Blue
Yeah.
loot, blue loot.
Okay, what do I get? I hope it's another
You
rare.
get nothing.
You find a pile of treasure. Gain 10 gold.
Oh, there's not a thing. I need where'd my... I put my paper somewhere.
Hold on.
Why did you... I gave them to you. Oh, no, I gave them to Josh. This... Yep.
More loot! More loot required. So you're going to gain 10 gold, Ann.
What is this one?
10 gold.
Dangerous path. Hold on.
10 gold. 10 gold. And you're going to gain 2 random consumables. Joshua, show us the consumables that they've won.
Not arrows. More loot! Not arrows. Arrows are terrible for me. I want this one, and I want...
We got some throwing knives.
I got plank.
You didn't get nothing.
My plank.
Not yours.
And got a ubiquitous plank. So you can discard this and deal a purple die physical damage to an adjacent opponent. Place a plank token on an adjacent space. Reduce physical damage dealt to you by 2.
It's so versatile.
It's interesting. Plank is friend.
Yeah. It reminds me of Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Why?
I don't know.
All right, so remove that loot token.
You can't carry all those. You have to give some of that away.
Why?
You have 4 consumables on you. You can only carry 3.
You want a smoke bomb? I don't need this. Wait, I'm going to discard it. You do not provoke break attacks till the end of the turn. That's what I just did.
Why?
Can I
You can
hand
give
it to
away.
you?
The party received those 2 items. Did it say she did or the party?
It says you find a pile of treasure.
You really just want the plank.
Don't give him the plank.
You're not getting the plank. So the smoke, but I can't, nobody's adjacent to me, which means I can't give it to anybody, so smoke bomb's got to go away.
Yeah, okay.
I got to toss the smoke bomb.
Toss.
Toss.
You drink your soda.
For
no
what?
reason.
Turn down for what?
All right, so it is now going to be Josh's turn. So Josh, you're going to run for the exit?
Yeah. So 1, 2. All right. 2 SP.
All right, so each party member gains 1 XP.
And you
Each
have to
party
sh-
member?
Each party member gains 1 XP.
That's cool. Oh, so this is the names. Okay, so you... Okay, now I see what you did. That's not... How does the 4 XP... Each of us had 4 XP.
Yeah, each. So we're all at 5.
So
now.
we all
we all spent 3 times.
we all spend 3 XP. We each spend 3 XP to get our level 1 disciplines.
Stuff.
So we should be at 2 XP now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Which means we could almost buy another level 1 soon.
Of a different type.
Oh, you
Need
can't buy
4 XP to buy of the same type.
Oh, yes, you're right. All right, so that is going to be the end of this one here. It says we're going to continue to rumble in the dark on page 34, and that is another fight. So we're going to save that for the next episode.
Yeah.
So, folks, thank you. Josh could have moved adjacent and taken the plank with a re-equip action.
I could have stole the plank from her.
All right, so folks, thank you so much for joining us today. That's going to conclude tonight's episode of Twitch Plays Middara. If you enjoyed it, make sure you're joining us for all of our upcoming streams. So that's going to be the end of this week's streams. Next week, we'll be coming to you live from Gen Con in Indianapolis, Indiana, bringing you the biggest board game convention in the United States. So super excited about that. We've got a ton
Into your
of
TV?
interviews and
Your tutor?
spotlights. Why are you talking over
Because I
me?
like to. It's my favorite pastime.
All right, so we've got a ton of stuff coming up at Gen Con, and we're super excited to bring you a bunch of interviews, demos, and importantly, spotlights. So we've got 3 spotlights going on at Gen Con. We're super stoked about that. We'd also like to give a big shout out to, you see that sponsor up in the top there, Dice Zone Adventures, currently live on Kickstarter right now.
If you'd like to learn more about the game, we recently did Monday we did a spotlight on it, and you can check out that video on the YouTubes
The YouTube.
or the VODs for Twitch.
We've got the spotlight. We've also got our first impression session. If you just want to see what our viewpoint was on the game, we talked about our favorite aspects, any constructive criticisms, and the most important question of the evening of, well, would we play that game again? Yeah, we would. Spoiler alert. Then let's see what else that we've got going on. Make sure that you're following us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and chatting with us in our Discord channel where
Sometimes we pull planks out of treasure chests, and we don't share with our friends.
If you've got Amazon Prime, you've got Twitch Prime, which means you get 1 free sub every month. We'd love it if you used it on us. Even if you don't have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, if you just do a regular sub, you get extra entries into all the giveaways that we do here at Twist Gaming. You get access to sub-only giveaways. We've got a really awesome one up right now for 3 exclusive KDM promo items. Let's see what else is going on. Every bit
We just did a bunch of giveaways. If you join us in our Discord, you can check out the conversation about what our subscribers got on their boxes for their giveaways.
Yeah, Josh draws funny pictures on them. You can throw bits, tips, and cheers and subscriptions. All that go directly back into funding the stream and to bringing you a bigger and better experience. Another way to show your support is to click on that link down at the bottom. Well, I guess type the link in. It is ks.twistgaming.tv, and Josh is going to put it in the chat right now. I don't have a Kickstarter button. I thought I did. So that is a way for you to get some awesome promos for some of your favorite games and to show your support for Twist Gaming here. And once we hit funding, which we're super duper close, everyone that backed a physical reward tier is going to get a promo, an additional promo item.
Look, today is my birthday. Oh my God!
It just went up. We're so close.
We are less than $80 away from funding. We are $78 exactly away. So, look, even if you are not in a position to back the campaign, we totally get it. What we would appreciate the most is a signal boost. Make sure that you're sharing the campaign link with your friends. It's a lot of cool promos in it. We really try to make this something that you guys would enjoy getting. Additionally, if you just checked out the campaign in the beginning of the launch and it wasn't really up to what you were thinking, come back and check it out again because we have added a ton of new things to the campaign, including Cosmos has been really great, and they are giving us on the digital tier, you're going to get the full game of Catan as well as the Seafarers and Cities and Knights expansion, and you will also get the Steam version. You'll get the Witch Hero promo for one deck dungeon for the Steam version of that game.
So, Josh, what are you pointing out?
Oh, who pledged for Team Matt?
Who?
Your girlfriend.
Oh, good on her. Well, I mean,
dirty cheater like
But make sure that you check out Team Twist promo where you can get your hands on all the promos. If you are looking between all the promos and there's not something that you like, be a triple agent and don't pick a team and pick one promo from each one of the tiers. Keep in mind that the items that are currently in the tiers are still not everything that we're going to be releasing.
Alrighty, so then when we get back from Gen Con, make sure that you're checking out our regularly broadcast streams. Yeah. So typically on Mondays at 8 p.m. No, you're not. I unmuted you a while ago.
Okay.
When we get back from Gen Con, Josh will still be interrupting me.
Yep.
But you can check out our regularly scheduled streams. Screams. Every Monday, we go for our Spotlight stream where we show off awesome games that are just coming out into the industry. On Tuesday nights, we've got Twitch Plays Kingdom Death, where we do an ongoing campaign of Kingdom Death Monster with you guys controlling one of the characters a la Twitch Plays Middara. And on Wednesdays, Twitch Plays Middara, we're doing an ongoing campaign of Middara, the Unintentional Malum Act 1.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Make sure that you're joining us on all of our social media where we're super active. I know Matt went to... Yay! Happy birthday to me. That's what that is.
What were you saying?
Join us on social media, we're super active and blah, 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 blah.
Chat with me.
All right, so folks, thank you so much again for joining us. This is going to conclude our recorded bit of the stream tonight. Thank you all again. Have a good one. I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
Nighty-night.
Good night.